What up, team? Here you are live with Big Boys Boxing. Once again, I'm Jono, your host. And as per usual, let me get a few things sorted here. And apologies, I'm a little late today, a little rushed. I've had a few bits of things happen this morning, so been behind the 8 ball. So we got the sounds on. Hopefully I got the encoder working properly. So yesterday we had the big fight and I got my prediction right. That's right, spot on. I picked the round 7 exactly and it happened. But not without some impatience, I guess I can put it that way. I did commentate live on the fight. There was a couple of stages throughout there I was saying boo. Yeah, it was very tactical. I guess it's a PC way of putting it. Not a lot of punches thrown whatsoever. You could see Wilder's game plan was to try and wait for Ortiz to throw something and maybe counter him. Ortiz was waiting for something to counter too. So, very interesting. I'm just trying to sort out some links for anybody else to join. I'll drop one straight in the chat for now today. And then I'll go and drop one in the Hangouts. Link in the chat, y'all. If anybody wants to jump on and have a yarn. The Quags is in the house. Good to see you in, brother. Tommy Temper's about as well. Luis Ortiz looked even slower than usual. He's never been the quickest of fighters, but he certainly looked pretty slow in this one. Conditioning was never going to be a problem with such a low volume fight. But Luis Ortiz at 40, how he was fighting, I think at least 6 of the top 10 fighters would beat him at present. At least, if not all of them. And will this be the last we see of Luis Ortiz? Highly likely. At least at elite level anyway. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, link in the chat there. I'll just try and see if I can get this sorted so I can get it on screen. Yeah, pushing shit uphill with regards to being organised today. I had to get one of my boys to the doctor. Then I've had some issues with a government agency I've been on the phone with for an hour and a half on hold. God damn. But no, the fight itself, it was entertaining. How well did it do with the pay-per-view numbers, I wonder? I haven't even had the chance to try and look at any news yet about that. But I don't expect it would have done extremely well. If it has, I will be surprised, to say the very least. Alright, so there we go. Got the hangout up on screen. Finally, and I will try and send a link to the regulars as well, so they can be notified that I am live. Almost done, peeps. Then I'll get back to the chat and start yarning to y'all. Boom. Link sent to the regulars via Hangouts, if that's how you want it. Anybody else can hit that link in the chat, and if that don't work for you, you can always drop me an email or a message on Hangouts at the email that is in the description. that link isn't working. Well, there's one in the hangouts there for you, Tommy, if you want to jump on and join that. I'll try repaste that link, see if that makes a difference. Give me a sec here. Copy. Here comes the link in the live chat again, y'all. Repasted. So we'll see if it works. There we go. Repasted. And I better repaste it in there as well. Yeah, it's repasted everywhere. So it should go. If it don't, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wilder bombs away. Yeah, I mean, there's no arguing the dude's got a one-punch knockout power. But he's totally relying on it. If he comes across somebody who moves well, has half-decent offense as well, and starts pouring it on him, how's he going to win if he can't hit him? I mean, Tyson is defensively responsible most of the time. He's a good mover, but he doesn't have a lot of offense to go with it. But, you know, somebody like Adam Kovnarski, somebody like Andy Ruiz, even somebody like a Joseph Parker could be a real problem for Deontay Wilder. There's no doubt. If you've got some offensive prowess and you go the rounds with Deontay Wilder, you will win. Simple as that. If he can't land that one punch, he's fucked. But that's some of the intrigue, isn't it? I guess. I think Wilder's proven that he's got a bit of a chin, though. I mean, he can be hurt. I thought Ortiz did have him a bit hurt prior to the knockout, but how Wilder... I'm actually going to go and look at it, because I haven't rewatched it. I have noticed there's copies up on YouTube. And it looked like he stepped around nicely when Ortiz was trying to track him down. Stepped around, made an angle, and popped it down the pipe. And got that knockout. So I'm just going to have a quick look at it again while I'm here. Wilder KOs Ortiz. Find a video. Here we go. The sun has it up. No, I'm not going to watch that one. Too many freaking ads on it. Find another one. Where is it? There it is. I better mute that before I get copyrighted. Alright, down to the end. Here we go. So Ortiz pushing forward. He landed a counter on Wilder, backed him up a couple of times, that's right. Wilder came back with it. He kind of stepped around to the left there. So Wilder was back into the corner. Ortiz hit him, and then Wilder steps around to the left, opens up the angle, and straight down the pipe. That was pretty smart from Deontay Wilder. Pretty damn smart. And for those of you who say Deontay Wilder has no skill, he definitely has skill. He has developed his own skill. It's not conventional. That does not mean that it's not a skill. But everything before that, let me get my score sheet out here. And don't forget, I haven't rewatched it. I haven't rescored it. How I scored it the first round was 10-9 to Ortiz. Second round, I scored 10-9 to Wilder. Third round, I scored a draw, and then all the rest to Ortiz. But because there's so little action in the fight, it's really hard to score some of those rounds, particularly when you've got 6 cans of Jim Beam down your throat. But hey, it's Sunday communion, man. I'm allowed to relax on a Sunday afternoon. I don't know how many of you actually caught the live commentary. But yeah, I was pretty bored throughout the fight. I was getting sick of saying pouring jab, nothing really happening. touching each other's jab hands and trying to judge distance. Oh, we've got someone in the hangout. No, we don't. Why is it showing on screen that there's someone in there? That's weird shit. Let's go back here. Have a look. Something not working here. What's going on?
Hello.
What's up, Unrivaled? How are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all. So, I haven't had the chance to watch any post-fight reviews from anybody else. I see you had one up, though. What did you think about the punch in particular?
Punch was a great punch. Well timed. Right in the chin. Well, not right in the chin, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right where you need to land. Scrambled the dude's senses. He couldn't make the count and it was over.
Yeah.
You push up.
Yeah.
Fight was crap.
Yeah, man. I was throughout my live stream. I was like, "Come on, boys, boo!" Trying to do the crowd because they weren't doing it.
The fight was really bad. It was a bad fight. But look, Wilder, he landed. He got the right hand off. He got the victory. He got the stoppage. Round 7, like you said yourself.
Yeah.
I was telling people 7 through 9, and no one was really believing me. But yeah, there you go. People were like, I get him out of there early. I said the fight would be negative. It was negative, and that's how it went.
Yeah. Did you notice anything different about Ortiz? Do you think he was maybe even slower than he was last time?
They both seemed slower.
Yeah. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
It was a hard fight to watch, but look, Wilder got the job done, and afterwards he said, after Fury, if he beats Fury, he wants Ruiz or Joshua.
Yeah, well,
no, he didn't say that. He wants unification. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He didn't actually say their names. So.
No. Yeah, well, let's hope we get it. But a lot can happen. We will see. Our belt's going to be stripped. Possibly. So.
I'm actually wondering if Wilder's going to get stripped of the WBC belt.
How so?
Because Fury's been made mandatory.
Yeah.
They haven't announced a venue or a network on that yet. Is Al Heyman going to let him fight on ESPN if ESPN push this to poor spits?
Well, that's the thing. If they've got a contract signed like Tyson says already, then splits and venue and all that shit must be sorted because, Wilder's...
They might not have an actual network signed because Wilder said yesterday they're still working on that. They're still working on like venue and where it's scheduled for February, but everything else hasn't been decided yet. So maybe poor bids will come into it.
Wow. If it does, then they...
And if poor bids come into it, I could genuinely see them vacating if they lose. I can see Al Heyman vacating that belt and doing the PBC title on Wilder.
Really?
And the title goes vacant. I can see it.
Far out. The belt that Deontay Wilder's worked so hard to hang on to for so long and talk up, they would vacate it? Wow, that's big. Then
they
Wilder
could vacate it and do an in-house fight if Ruiz beats Joshua.
For 3 belts. Geez, if that happens, Andy Ruiz would have to be the A-side, wouldn't he? If Wilder's
Well,
got
it
no
won't be
belt,
for 3 belts. It'd be for the PBC belt, the WBA and IBF.
yeah. Wow, wow. I'm just kind of picking at that a little bit. If Tyson Fury says there is a contract in place, how can there be a contract in place when Wilder's team don't sign contracts that don't have venues and dates on them? Interesting.
Look, it's all speculation, but we got to go back to that stuff.
Yeah, we do. If it's gonna be good for the goose, it's gotta be good for the gander. So I don't know, man. It should come out in the next little while, I guess. What's going on with it, and we'll see if we're gonna get that fight February 22nd. But we also got Raphael Dawkins in the house. How are you today, bro?
Yeah, man. Yeah, tired. Those late night American PPVs, they're not too good for the sleep band, you know?
Not at all. Not at all. I did manage to catch some of your post-fight review video there. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone's got the same story. Wasn't um, too easy to watch, and
No.
Wilder got the job done with one punch, and same old story. Got outboxed every other round, or damn near. But,
I had him losing pretty much every damn round,
yeah,
you know?
I was
But
close to it too, and I was trying to be kind with a couple of
yeah,
rounds.
yeah, I haven't watched it back because obviously we're watching it at 5. We're watching it at 5 a.m., you know? That's when it starts. So it might be good to watch it back, but at the time, I just, I didn't really see Wilder having too much, doing too much of anything really, and Ortiz wasn't doing much of anything either. It was a very, very tentative affair, was it not?
Mm. Yeah, I was saying prior to the fight, I think one of the keys for Wilder is not to sit down on too many punches, and if he does throw the big punch, he doesn't want to miss because he'll be open for that counter. And it seems
Yeah,
that was what he was up to. He wasn't going to sit down on big punches unless he knew he was going to land them. And it's his game plan. Usually, it
yeah.
worked again, but I think one day it's not going to work.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, in a sense, in a strange kind of sense, I kind of admire the philosophy that Wilder was using there. He was almost Bruce Lee esque. He just wants to kill you with one shot. You know,
Yeah,
just
I
wants to kill you with that one shot. And in a strange kind of way, I kind of admire the philosophy. But on the flip side of that, it's all well and good when you've got so we call him a senior citizen in front of you. That's all well and good. But if you got what I describe as a young banger, you've got a young banger in front of you. He's not going to give you the time to just sit back and try to go for the kill shot every time. In between the action, you could get clipped up.
Yeah, well, that's it. Ortiz is slow enough to let Wilder sit. He can just back out, reset, no problem. He hasn't got a lot of pressure on him. Like you say, a young guy that can move pretty quick and be on Wilder like flies on shit could be a
Yeah,
could be a problem.
whole different ball game. Could be a whole different ball game.
But yeah, time will tell, I guess.
Yeah.
Until he faces somebody young and hungry and fast and can hit.
Mm.
Like I was saying earlier on in the stream, like a Ruiz or a
Yeah.
Kovnarski or, you know.
Well, if he gets in the habit of this style, if he tries to get into the habit of this style, then he could be in for a world of hurt, like his young bro.
Like baby Big Mouth got flattened.
Oh dear! By a clothesline. He's a
Yeah,
clothesline.
hung out to dry, man.
Oh dear! Oh dear! Fell on his own arm.
Yeah, he couldn't get it out either. He looked pretty awkward, didn't he?
I shouldn't laugh. But I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know, he's a dude who's been hyping himself up, and his brother's been hyping him up, living in that shadow, and he's
Yeah.
proving to not be worthy of even standing in the shadow. So
No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in the shadow. Somebody needs to talk to the fella. I looked at his positioning. He had his lead hand down. Now, why in the hell are you, as a novice boxer, going to have your lead hand down? So now you're fighting with. Now you're
relying on
fighting with one hand.
reflexes.
Yeah, relying on reflexes, but you don't know what to do. Even if you had the reflexes, you don't know what to do. So now you're fighting with one hand. You're boxing with one hand, and then your right hand is in the wrong position. So now you're fighting with no hands. Now, I put it to you that is not a very well thought out plan.
Not at all. I mean, and then he was not too bad until the guy switched to southpaw, and it's like he didn't change his defense to adapt
No,
to it.
no,
And
didn't adapt.
the punch that dropped them wasn't even
Yeah,
that heavy a punch.
crazy. It was crazy. It was a straight arm punch. It was a straight arm punch.
Uh,
How much power can you really generate from pretty much a straight arm swing? It was like, that's why I say it was like a clothesline. He just caught him with the knuckle end of the clothesline.
yeah.
Very peculiar. In all seriousness, I think the guy somebody really needs to talk to the fella. Somebody really needs to talk to him because his punch resistance. Forget about his skills, but his punch resistance appears to be sub-zero.
Yeah. Totally.
He just gets touched and that's it. That's it. It's like lights out.
Yep. Will we see much more of him? Possibly not on televised shows anyway.
Well, he's fighting the lowest ranked fighters. When you look at their records, it's guys with 3-2 and 4-3. He's fighting the lowest ranked guys that they can possibly get him.
Yeah. I think the only reason he's getting on the shows is PBC trying to do a favour for Big Boy Wilder.
Yeah, Big Bro. Trying to do a favour for Big Bro.
Yeah.
It's interesting how after he gets sparked, nobody asks him. Nobody asks Big Bro how his brother's doing. No, nothing. It's like, I don't know. Have they had instructions? Do you not mention Little Bro to Big Bro?
Yeah. Especially when he loses.
Yeah. Mad
as. All right, so we'll move on to another one because there ain't really a hell of a lot to talk about with that one. But I did watch the fight in the UK between Callum Smith and John Ryder. That was very interesting, man.
That was highly interesting. That was a highly interesting affair. I had a problem with that one because I was busy. And I only came in initially I only came in the 6th round. I mean, I did have a chance to then go and watch from round 1 to round 6 afterwards, but initially when I was watching it live, I only came in at the beginning of the 6th round. So everything that I saw was Ryder winning.
Yeah.
And I saw there was some online stuff, online chat going on. So they were saying that Ryder was winning from 1 to 6. So I figured if Ryder was winning, and that was a consensus view. So if Ryder was winning from 1 to 6, I came in at the beginning of the 6th and saw him win from 6 through till 12. The majority of the rounds, I thought, well, he had a pretty good shot to win the fight. However, I was very much aware of how the commentators, we had Sky commentators. I don't know who was commentating for you.
Same.
So you heard the Sky commentators. They didn't want to give Ryder anything.
No.
They didn't want to give him anything. And I was watching him win rounds, and and they were attributing those rounds to Smith. So I could see where we were going with this. Everybody online says Ryder winning. The commentators saying the total opposite. I could see where we were going. See where we were headed. And it happened. They gave it to Smith, but no. I mean, the consensus view is that Ryder won that fight comfortably.
Yeah, well, I had it 115, 113, so it was only kind of one round difference, but some had it 116, 112 to Ryder as well, sort of thing. But then when the scores were read out, I thought, Shit, have they got the names around the wrong way? It's 117, 111 to Smith.
That was mad.
It's
That was
like
mad.
that's like get the out of here, man. That's bullshit. So you know,
Totally.
on one hand you can say the wrong man won it. It was a robbery, but then it was a fairly close fight for me as well. So I can't really
Yeah.
scream robbery because it was close. But
Mhm.
I wouldn't have argued with a draw, and I wouldn't have argued too much with Callum Smith getting 115, 113 decision as well. But the judges were nowhere near it, man. Total bias, and I'm not happy with it. So
No, me neither.
I had a feeling something like this may happen too, because I was talking to someone else about it, about
Yeah.
Callum Smith when he fought Nikkei Holzkin in the World Boxing Super Series. He was a pressure fighter, and Holzkin did a lot better than many thought he was going to, being a late replacement and whatnot. But I looked at it as a pressure fighter, getting in close to the long, gangly Smith and shutting him down, smothering him, making it problematic for him. And that's pretty much what John Ryder did most of the fight. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, big kudos to John Ryder coming up a weight division and doing that to who most people see as the best fighter at 168. That's a big achievement on his part. But I hope they do a rematch, man. I think it's called for.
It's totally called for. It's totally called for. But Ryder isn't a matchroom guy, is he?
No, I don't know who promotes him actually. Anybody in the chat, let us know if you know who promotes John Ryder.
Yeah. If he were a matchroom guy, which I don't think he is, then I think that would be very possible. I think Eddie Hearn would go for that. But we have to bear in mind that the Hearn guy is Smith.
Yeah.
So I don't see any chance of them doing an immediate rematch. For the fans, absolutely, that would be a massive fan favorite fight. But with like I say, with Smith, with Ryder not being promoted by Hearn, then he's obviously going to push the guy that he's invested in, and that's Smith. However, has there been a bit of a perception change on Callum Smith as a result of this fight?
I think that's definitely on the cards. There's going to be plenty thinking about how good is he actually. I mean, most people were picking him to stop Ryder, maybe later rounds, but they were picking him to stop Ryder, and there was no point in the fight that Ryder looked in any sort of trouble like that. So, either people are going to have to start bigging up John Ryder, or they're going to have to start downing Callum Smith to justify what happened in the ring.
Probably going to be a combo deal.
Yeah. So, wow. I have to go on. 168 is not my specialty. Is Caleb Plant at 168? I think he is, eh?
168, Caleb Plant, I think so. I'm in box right now.
I think that fight would be one that would sort how good Callum Smith is or isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are we? Jesus. Having said that, I think Smith would do better against a taller guy.
Oh, definitely. Somebody who wants to use a bit more range.
I think it'd be a totally different story. I think that's where Callum Smith is at his best. I think it was an unfortunate style matchup for him. However, people are saying, well, John Ryder is going to be a similar height to Canelo. So that's the thing there. They're saying that with John Ryder being a shorter guy, much like Canelo, people are expecting that a similar outcome would ensue should Callum Smith meet up with Canelo. The smaller guy going down low. You know, the pressure guy. Um, yeah, so that's a very interesting narrative that's come about now. Because before it was Callum Smith would give Canelo help. Now I think there's been something of a change of perception.
Yeah, almost a role reversal.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Canelo's definitely got the ability inside to smother up Callum Smith. And don't get me wrong, I think Callum Smith can fight on the inside, but it's when those smaller guys get right up on his chest. Those
yeah,
big long arms are no good. You got no leverage.
exactly. He's got
So
no leverage.
yeah,
He's got no leverage, and he doesn't appear to have the inside game to swivel his man. Get an underhook on the one arm, swivel around, and then catch him with the right, on the end of the swivel. If you can understand, visualize what I'm saying.
yeah, for sure. So interesting situation for the lineal super middleweight champion.
Super. Yeah,
Um,
very interesting.
where's he gonna go? Is he gonna try and get that Canelo fight, or is he gonna try and unify with somebody like a Caleb Plant? Or um, interesting. I
Billy
did.
Joe Saunders is another option.
Yeah, he's at 168, and he's with Matchroom now too, isn't he? So
Is with Matchroom as well. Yeah, they might be more inclined to take that fight, or maybe less inclined to take that fight. Really don't know. Really don't know. I think, but if you're his manager, you would imagine you'd be thinking, let's get that big money fight
yeah,
as soon ASAP, because that's what he's been talking about. We want the big money fight. I want the big money fight. I want the big money fight. And I think that from a fan perspective, that might backfire on him slightly. I think that I can easily imagine people saying, "Hold on a second, you was thinking about the big money fight. Don't worry about the big money fight. Worry about the fight in front of you. Worry about the fight in front of you. Thinking about the big money fight, and look at this guy. You should have mopped. Everybody's expecting you to mop, and you went life and death with him."
mm,
So I think he needs to, from a public relations point of view, I think he needs to ease up with the talk about the big money fight, because people don't like you when you're talking about the big money fight and you can't take care of a little local fight.
yeah. From his own point of view, though, I could see, yeah, get the money fight, and if you lose, you lose, big deal. Then you can come back and try and campaign maybe at 168 and clean up the controversy, and he will
Yeah,
have the money in his pocket. He's set for life
yeah,
because Callum Smith hasn't been making decent money
no,
as a champion, so um, yeah, I can imagine he's itching to get that paycheck, so he doesn't have to worry about
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
the fans aren't going to like it, like you say.
Yeah, I mean, go for the big money fight, but don't talk about it so much publicly. Talk about that behind closed doors, because I mean that was my reaction as well. I said, "Hold on a second, you're campaigning for the big money fight, and you've got kind of almost like a local fight, and you're going life and death, and you're losing. You're
Yeah,
losing. So don't talk about big money fights when you've got you're struggling to take care of like a local fight, so to speak."
yeah.
Just
Uh,
be impressive. Be so impressive that people call for the big money fight on your behalf. Be impressive.
yeah. So wish him all the best, whichever way he
Of course,
goes.
of course.
We will be reporting on it for sure.
Mm, mm, mm.
We'll see where he goes. But I'm
Yeah.
just looking through a bit of fresh news coming out. They've got a video about Marcellus Wilder getting knocked out cold by
Oh,
by Dustin Long on Boxing Scene. So I'll just have a
okay.
quick look and see what they're gonna
Yeah.
go on about here.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
surprised
let's
they're reporting on it. This time I don't think they'll be able to erase everything from the internet.
Nope. Nope.
It's
Nope.
out there. They're even
Yep.
publishing photos on here of him having a sleep. Yeah,
Well, this time it's out, like you say, so there's no taking it back. People have downloaded it. People like myself have made videos on it, so it is there. Cannot be erased.
haha. I just put this story up on screen for everyone to have a quick look at. We'll look at some photos of this guy having a sleep.
Oh damn! Oh damn!
Here we go. So Dustin Long. You know, they were talking about him having a pretty good right hand, but it wasn't the right hand that put him to sleep.
No, it was the left. It was the left clothesline.
Yeah. So looking for the punch here. Where is it? Even Wilder, when he's jabbing, his right hand is quite low, and he's not trying to throw it. He's not quite protecting himself, and here we go with a bit of defense. He's putting his hands out in front of him rather than covering up.
Yeah.
And we've seen Deontay do that in the past, not recently, but
that's one of his old techniques.
Yeah, I did see the old jump back with the hands in the air once in that fight last night, though. Haven't seen that in a fair few fights.
For real.
But there's Marcellus on the canvas.
Damn.
Having sleeps. Okay, there's the punch. You can see his arm isn't straight, it's a hook. And I thought it went around the right hand, but it's gone through the middle and hit him right in the chops.
No, it's around. It's around. What you're seeing is the black of his wristband on the glove.
Okay, I thought that was Marcellus's glove in front of it.
Yeah. That's just his wrist wrap, around the black of the wrist wrap. But it's around, definitely around. And Marcellus's right hand is in the middle,
inside,
and his left hand is down. Yeah.
Yep. Well, paid for that mistake.
Yeah,
big time.
Big time.
He didn't get up in a hurry either, did he?
No, he took quite a while. It was quite a struggle.
Just looking at the three pictures here, you see, first got knocked down, and Long is looking at him. He's walking away. The second one, Wilder hasn't moved. He's walked right across the ring, and Wilder still hasn't moved.
No. And at that point, he does the little victory jig.
Yeah. That's the knock the fuck out dance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Is.
Just have a quick mosey on what else they've got for news stories on boxing scene. I haven't got a lot of time today, so I'm kind of rushing through a bit here.
Yeah, cool.
Brandon Figueroa went the distance against Julio Cesar, ended up in a draw. I watched that fight as well. That wasn't supposed to happen. Brandon Figueroa was supposed to smoke this guy.
Yeah. It was pretty competitive from what I caught of it.
Yeah, it was a split draw.
Yeah.
So
very
one judge had it each way, and then one had it a draw 114. Leo Santa Cruz as well. We saw that fight. Yeah, it was what it was. Nothing to be excited about, really. But if he gets that fight against Gary Russell next, that will be exciting. Gary Russell Jr.
That would be exciting. That would be good to see. He said he wanted it. Do we believe him?
He's been talking about it for a little while, but I don't know. When it comes down to it, when they step in the ring, we shall see.
Indeed.
And the replacement for Sergey Kuzmin is Andre Rudenko, tough ass journeyman. And I was going to do a video about this today. I thought, even though this is a late replacement and many people don't really rate Andre Rudenko, it's still going to be the best opponent Zhilei Zhang has ever faced as a pro.
Zhilei Zhang.
But going to be interesting for sure. I think I could see it going the distance. But what are your thoughts?
Zhilei Zhang, he's unbeaten, isn't he?
Yes.
He's unbeaten. There was much talk about him facing Joshua not too long ago. A big clash over in China. Well, he needs to win. He needs to win to keep that alive. to keep that prospect alive.
He certainly does.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up Andre Rudenko's box rec now. So he's 32-4. He's been in there with a few guys. He's only 6'1.5" 73-inch reach.
Okay.
I think he's getting long on the tooth though. Where's his date of birth? He is 36 years old. Yeah. He's. I know he's lost to Lucas Brown. But that was on points. His last time out was against Ajit Cabiel. He lost to him, but only on points. This dude's durable. He went the distance with Alexander Povetkin as well.
Damn.
So this guy can take a shot. It's not going to be an easy night's work for Zhili Zhang, I don't think.
No way. That looks like a very competitive matchup.
Yeah, but he's also lost to Huey Fury on points. And like I said, Lucas Brown. Those are his 4 losses. I'm just going to have a quick look. See if we can find a reputable win. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that he...
looking through.
Yeah. Jason Bergman. That's not really reputable.
No.
But he only beat him over 10 rounds. Unanimous decision.
Yeah. So he's going to give Zillibank some rounds.
Yeah. Give him rounds. That's it.
That's what we can say for certain.
But that fight's coming up on the weekend. We also have Huey Fury on that card, facing Pavel Sauer. Hardly worth talking about, really. That one.
Yeah, that fight escaped my attention. I didn't even know he was fighting this weekend.
I'll bring the event up so we can have a look at it. It's in Monaco.
The Monaco card.
Yeah, Matchroom card. Alexander Besputin and how do we say that?
Radzhab Butev.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
What are we, both unbeaten? Yeah, 12-0 and 13-0. So that's the main event. Can't say I know the dudes full stop.
No.
That's at a welterweight fight.
Okay.
Most of us would know Joe Cordina. He's the chief support, and he's fighting Mario
Enrique Tinoco.
There you go.
There we go.
Tinoco. I'm glad you can attempt these ones better than me.
That'll do.
But yeah, down the card, we've got the Zhili Zhang and Andre Rudenko fight there. We've also got the Huey Fury and the Pavel Sauer. Pavel Sauer's 11-2. I think he's had a recent loss to somebody we know. Who was that? Jermaine Franklin. He recently lost to. But yeah, he hasn't really faced a really high level of competition. So I watched the Franklin fight, and that was the first time I seen Pavel Sauer, and I thought, this guy doesn't belong here. Should be an easy night's work. If Huey Fury doesn't get him out of there, he's going to cop more of Mr. Pillow Fist. So
yeah, Pavel Sauer. I don't really know what that does for his career, but anyway, I suppose it keeps him active.
Yeah, got to keep him ticking over until he can find another decent fight, I guess. Hopefully next time he steps up, he's going to find someone that's pretty damn close to his level. Because I thought he really got outboxed by Pulev.
Yeah.
So,
consistently.
Yeah. Where to for Huey? He's a bit of a hard one to put in the right fights, and people don't really want to fight him either because he has the potential to make people look really bad.
Yeah, he's got that range. He makes himself look bad as well as the opponent. It's it's the problem with you Fury for me is that they've moved him up, they've moved him down. It's not been a consistent climb. Whereas you look at someone like Daniel Dubois, there's been a steady and consistent climb. Whereas Yuri Fury, they've had him all over the place, up, down, promoted him too quick, dropped him back down too low. You know, it's very messy. It's very messy. At some point, they're just going to have to adopt a strategy of, okay, we're going to start from here and we're going to work our way up.
Yeah, well, I think prior to his world title attempt at Joseph Parker, they were kind of building maybe how they should have been for a while. But then
Yeah,
once they got that opportunity, it's been all over the place.
all over the
Yeah.
shop.
So I think MTK are managing him, aren't they?
MTK, yeah. MTK, promoted by her now, managed by MTK.
So hopefully they can get him in the right fights to get him where he needs to go.
Yeah.
But realistically, he's not one of my favourite fighters to watch either.
No. I mean, at one point, I did have high hopes for him. At one point, I even suggested him as a replacement for Miller over there in New York.
Yep.
But I really don't know. He probably, if he didn't get knocked out, he'd just make it look very messy.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, is there any other subjects you'd like to touch on before we think about closing it down? But I've got a bit of stuff to do. So.
Yeah, no, I'm not good. No, those are the two fights that I watched properly. The Wilder fight, and the Wilder fight, his brother, and the Callum Smith fight. I watched just in and out of the Santa Cruz fight, and the other one we mentioned that was almost a draw, if it wasn't a draw. Yeah, those are the fights that I watched over the weekend. It was a really late night for me, so it's one of them.
Sunday catch up sleeps, is it?
Yeah, definitely.
All good. All right. Well, yeah. So that's about us.
My closing thoughts. Closing thoughts about the Wilder versus Ortiz. Yeah, I mean, we thought that Ortiz was gonna might since he was working with the Victor under the Victor Conte snack program. We thought he'd come in better conditioned, But like I said, I thought to myself, hold on, just because you look in better condition, it doesn't automatically translate that you are going to perform better.
Yeah.
Because he could have been in there just on a fat camp.
Yeah.
That was my concern. He could have been in there on a fat camp, focusing on losing weight. Well, okay, you're going to look better, but are you going to perform better?
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
No.
I don't think he did. That is why I suspected he's going to perform worse 20 months later than he did 20 months before.
Yeah. I think it partially could have been mental as well, in that first fight he took a few more risks earlier on and he got put down in the 5th round, so he was very cautious of that power of Wilder, and so he should have been, but it also gave Wilder the opportunity to set Ortiz up for what he wanted to do without having to worry about too much coming back at him. So
exactly gave Deontay Wilder ample opportunity and ample time to just picture, because I think that I will give Deontay Wilder credit. He does picture. He does look at setups. He does look at his positioning of his opponent, and I do kind of see him picturing the kill shot. He's picturing. Is it now? No, not yet. Move back. Okay. Throw a weak jab out, step back, circle around. Is it now? Is this the right picture? And I see him picturing the opponent and their positioning, and asking, are they ready for the kill shot? Can I get a clean kill shot right here? Much like a hunter looking for the perfect shot. I do see him doing that, and I do give him credit for that. However, there's a flip side to that we talked about earlier on, which is that while he's looking for the perfect shot, against a younger banger, as I call them, a younger banger, um, that could put him in trouble. Having said that, obviously he'll be fighting most likely a different fight. He'd be boxing. If he were fighting a younger, uh, more energetic, heavier hitter. So of course he would adjust, wouldn't he? So um, we have to bear that in mind. Also, he would adjust. But if he keeps this style of just looking for the perfect shot, then yeah, that can backfire. That can blow up in his face. As for the performances, I feel that both performed to a lesser level this time around. Ortiz, I attribute that to his age. Wilder, but you have to understand Wilder's 35 now. So if he's not at his peak, we've got to be imagining that he's at his peak now, if not past his peak. So time for messing around. How much time does he have to mess around and wait for that $500 million purse? How much time has he got?
Yeah, well, he's continuously saying things in interviews about his body hurts and he doesn't like training and all these sorts of things. And he says he's still gonna do 6 more years of boxing until he's 40. So I don't know if he will. I'm not convinced.
No, neither am I. I don't believe that. He's also talked about Hollywood.
Yeah, wants an acting career. He certainly dresses like an actor at times.
Well, the dressed up like Aladdin in this occasion. So yeah, I mean, he's got an acting career to think about as well. So I don't see him in the boxing game for too long with all his talks of injuries, etc., etc. He's 35 now. Yeah, so I think we've got limited time with him. I think 2 years. I see 2 years before he wraps it up. 37, and that's long.
Yep, for sure. A pertinent comment that was on my live stream: the style of Deontay Wilder, what it does when he pulls off this game plan, not having to worry about boxing, not having to worry about points, and just getting that one punch, it makes a mockery of boxers. It really does. And it keeps working for him is the thing. In most cases, when somebody does that sort of thing, they come up against somebody who knows how to counter it and ends up beating them. And then there's everybody says, I told you so, but it just hasn't happened yet. So, makes a mockery of boxers. He doesn't have to box, but that is his style, so we just live with it.
Makes a mockery of boxers. Do they mean boxing?
Oh, boxing, yeah.
Is that what you're saying? That makes a mockery of the art of boxing? Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, he's not actually boxing, is he? He's just making moves, making little jabs every now and then, but he's constantly looking for the kill shot. And that's not, I can see the argument where you say, well, that's not boxing. Where is the boxing? Where is the boxing in that? But from his point of view, he can counter and say, well, why do I have to box when I don't need to box? When I've got enough time when my opponent is not sufficiently skilled to force me. Why should I have to box when my opponent is not sufficiently skilled to force me to box?
See, when he faces somebody like Fury, he has to box more because they've got a longer reach and they can jab him without him being able to, easily get out of the way or use his big long arms to block it. So
so he has to box in self-defense almost.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this February matchup. I hope it does happen and we'll sort out that controversy too. And we shall move on.
Absolutely.
All right, Ref. We're going to wrap it up there. So thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as usual. Also, a big thank you to Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News for popping in, giving us his opinion as well. Everybody in the chat wouldn't be the same without you. So we shall catch you next time. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. and also hit that bell for notifications of future content. And that's about us. But don't forget to get over to Rafi's channel as well. Check out his stuff. Subscribe, like. Oh, how's it go? It's the like. It's the
It's the
subscribe.
subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated for news and notifications.
Booyah! There you have it.
All right, Jono, thanks for having me on, guys. Thanks for tuning into Jono's. Like he said, smash that like button. Leave a comment. It helps with the algorithms and helps the thing grow and become more findable. Jono, thank you very much, mate. Have a great, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, Sunday. As for the rest of the guys, and I am out.
Blessed. See y'all.